I'm in control, control.
Whether you are a bodybuilder or a CrossFitter or an athlete or an aesthetic athlete, the hallmark of a great physique always comes down to those six-pack abs. And how do we get them? Because it's not just about training core, is it?
No, and I think a lot of people out there approach abs the incorrect way. They're gonna sit there and pump out 1,000 crunches. They're just trying to focus on that burn where, I've always approached ab training like I would approach training any other muscle group, right? If I'm gonna train my bicep or I'm gonna train my legs, I'm not gonna sit there and do 1,000 bicep curls with body weight. I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna try and get that muscle group stronger. I'm gonna try and search for that hypertrophic response. I do find with the combination of nutrition, making sure that your nutrition is where it needs to be, and focusing on developing muscle and trying to really make reps very difficult in that 8, 10, 12, 15 rep range is the range I've pretty much lived in.
Exactly, and don't be afraid to load your abs, period, because your abs need to be strong so that you can squat better, so you can deadlift better, so you can hit all your other exercises better. So we're gonna go through our 5 favorite ab exercises. None of them you're gonna do 100 reps of. All of them you're gonna load up, they're gonna be challenging, and they're gonna push you, and they're gonna get you the six-pack visually that you want.
Ooh, this is fun, I'm excited. Let's get going. Number 5, this is called a plank row. So before we get into that, I wanna just discuss the importance of tension techniques during a plank. So I'll see most people get into a plank position, which is where we're gonna be getting into right now, and they'll let their hips drop, and they're not really creating tension in the body. What I want Ev to do is I want the hips up a little bit, glutes tight, lats tight, and I wanna feel like Ev is really trying to create tension with the floor. We're gonna take that same principle, which is called tension techniques, and we're gonna go to our row now. Now, the big mistake that I see on the plank row is that when someone's picking a weight up, they're letting their hips fly open. So notice how his hips are flying open. We don't want that. Ev now is going to stabilize his hips as if I was putting my phone on his lower back or a glass of water. Now, stabilize and row. So notice how his hips aren't moving. Now, this is an anti-rotation drill where we're recruiting an incredible amount of his core, his abs. And let's go one more, each side. Rest. How's that feel? Tough,
Vicious.
right?
Yeah.
It's vicious. When you stabilize your hips,
Yeah.
and you don't allow all that motion going on, this is when people start feeling this the way they should be feeling it.
Exactly, and that's why the plank, it's so easy to slip out of those tension techniques and slip into that bad place where you're not really getting the most out of the exercise. And that's why when you add that row in, you've got that anti-rotation, you're using the plank position. You have to squeeze through your abs, my obliques are working, my glutes are working even to stabilize, and you have to do all that and fight rotation, and you have that other component. That's why I love this exercise so much. For my entire, I'm still out of breath.
Oh yeah, you feel it.
Yeah, for my entire six-pack.
In 10 seconds, 15, 20 seconds of doing a plank, you should be exhausted because you are trying to literally rip the floor apart, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your lats, and this move right here is just making that plank a little bit more dynamic because now we have to stabilize with our entire body when you're rowing, which is basically making it somewhat of a unilateral movement.
Yeah, exactly. And adding in a little bit of back work too, that's gonna finish out your posture, finish out your visual. And one hallmark you're gonna see on all these exercises, they're gonna challenge you and you can load them up. You can put some weight on this one too.
Hope you enjoy that one, guys.
So number 4 on our list is an exercise called the cable crunch. This is an old school exercise. And I feel like in the world we've been in with abs where there's this fear of spinal flexion, right? This is one of those exercises that for a while got outlawed, but it's making a comeback and it's really awesome for really attacking your whole six-pack.
I've probably done crunches twice in my life.
Yeah.
Cable crunches, this is something that's been in my ab training for, I'd say 25 years. I just haven't removed it because I do like doing something that's loaded. I do believe that we need to treat the abs as if we're treating any other muscle group. We are gonna need some resistance, and this just happens to be one of my go-tos.
Exactly, so Don's gonna set up for this. And again, the great thing about this is a crunch, but it's loaded and he gets to push through a very great range of motion as he's working through spinal flexion. So all he's trying to do, he's trying to not let his hips tip back too far. He's basically trying to flex his abs nice and hard. Almost think about bringing your elbows to your knees every single rep and keep your head nice and relaxed. And the great thing about this is one, he gets to drive up, get a nice stretch on his abs at the top. And then as he lowers down, he gets to really contract all those six-pack muscles, go heavy with it too, right?
I like going heavy. You will never really see me go any more than 15 reps on this. I'll even take it as low as maybe 8 to 10. But again, look at the control that I had there. I'm exhaling. I'm really trying to flex. I'm trying to create tension. I'm trying to treat it as if I was doing a bicep curl. That type of tension is what I'm trying to create with this movement.
And this is that movement. Think of this as the biceps curl for your abs.
Yep.
Old school, really going heavy, really focusing on getting that perfect contraction. Your abs will thank you.
All right, exercise number 3 is the ab wheel, a fan favorite of the 90s. It has made a comeback, and I'm not gonna say it made a comeback recently because we have been doing these for the last, at least 10 plus years. But probably one of the most misunderstood ab exercises because it's done incorrectly, and a lot of us, we don't really own the position that this is putting us into because we are getting in the lumbar extension. We may not necessarily have that shoulder mobility or that lat strength to be able to maintain ourselves through proper positioning.
Exactly. I think there are 2 reasons for that. One, most people think they can do the ab wheel, but they're not ready for it.
Right.
This is an advanced move. And 2, they're trying to rush it. This is, like you said, we've got to own this, take our time through it, really feel everything.
Focus on treating it 1 rep at a time. And that's what Eb's gonna do right now. So Eb, give me 3 to 5 reps, but just show me how we're gonna keep a neutral spine. Look at how much lat benefit he's getting here. This is almost like doing a pullover, but he did a perfect job in maintaining that neutral lumbar spine. Now, what do we not want to see out of this movement? Eb, take me into extension with the lower back.
Oh, this will be fun.
Yeah, so Eb's starting to, he can't even do it incorrectly. Back up. No, you will see that his lower back dipped a little bit. So now we want to stay safe. Yeah, that was it. That's not safe. We want to make sure 1 more time, the right way, all the way out, and back up. He's really creating tension throughout the body. There is a lot of benefit to the lat, to the shoulders. We're getting a lot of core work. Aesthetically, we are working the abdominals. You are gonna feel this. But if you don't have ownership over this range of motion safely, the correct way, we're gonna have to call a regression and maybe go to something like a plank or some type of a plank variation.
Yeah, exactly. You can just go to a simple plank walkout if you're starting. That's kind of the easiest way to start to learn that idea of anti-extension, because that's when our abs are working in the ab wheel, right? When I'm out in this position, I'm dying here because my abs have to fight to not let my
Right, the further his arms go out, the more that he's able to challenge his abdominal wall.
Yeah, great thing I love about this exercise too, it's so much more versatile. So obviously we have like the Cadillac of ab wheels here.
This is nice.
But you could just take like a barbell, put plates on it, roll out that way. So many different options for attacking the ab wheel idea.
And ironically, you just don't see it done much at gyms.
Right.
It's like some exercises, they're just difficult. They're very hard to perform them properly. Watch this video of Eb and I go into the gym, impress everyone by showing them what a great exercise this is. Good luck, guys.
Second on our list, we're gonna get off the ground and we wanna get you hanging. We're gonna look at hanging core work, in particular the hanging leg raise. And this is something I really love. And one of the reasons I love it is because once you're hanging, it's instantly a position of work. Essentially, it's a vertical hollow hold.
100%, and there's so many other factors involved, right? Our grip strength, which is gonna tie into our shoulder and lat mobility. We have to avoid our body from swinging, so we're gonna have to incorporate some of those tension techniques and really try and create that plank type tension. And then at that point, it's, what's your level of strength? Are we pulling our knees up or are we pulling our legs straight up? Obviously, one's gonna be more difficult than the other.
Exactly. So once Don gets up there, as soon as he's hanging, thinking about creating all that tension, trying to really break the bar even, trying to drive that bar as tight as he can, doing all of those things instantly, like a plank done correctly, we've made it this position of work where you can't escape.
And they also have specific arm sleeves that you could put your arms into to be able to hang a little bit more comfortably. But you are also going to be missing a lot of that grip strength benefit, a lot of that lat and shoulder mobility. So if you're going to use those straps, great, use them, but really try and focus on transitioning to where you can hold that position with your hands. In my opinion, you're just gonna get so much more benefit out of it.
The other key reason it's number 2 on our list, in addition to all those great benefits, is there are different levels for it, right? So we can do it more as a knee raise if you're kind of a little bit more at the beginner of your training journey. As you advance, then we can do a more of a straight leg raise, make the lever longer for our abs, and even add weight to it.
Man, I'm already dreading this right now. Follow me up here.
You're trying to make sure that your butt winds up in front of your torso ever so slightly, because that means you've really attacked your abs, and that's where we're getting into the really great benefits of the movement.
And if someone was to ask me, what is the ab exercise that you just feel the most?
Yeah.
This is it. I just get an incredible burn without doing a high level of repetitions. In the beginning even, I might have felt it a little bit too much in my hip flexors, but then in time, as I was able to connect my mind to muscle, I was able to really feel like that this is 100% the entire rectus abdominis, that entire abdominal wall. Now remember, take your time, focus mind to muscle connection, progressively get stronger, session by session, don't rush it. Good luck. And our favorite movement for aesthetic abs is a loaded carry. So a bit ironic because it's not just about aesthetics with this movement. There's so much functionality going on. We're gonna show you guys what a farmer walk looks like, and then we can even show a variation like a one-arm suitcase carry. When I got interviewed about every superhero I trained for Hollywood, I would always get asked, what is that one movement for the abs that, you know, that was pretty consistent with everyone? And I would always go to this one, and that was the farmer walk.
I think it's because there's so many benefits, right?
Everything.
It seems so far from a traditional ab exercise,
Right.
but at the same time, you get the shredding ability that comes from cardio and just blasting calories because we're gonna lift a heavy weight, we're gonna take it somewhere. And you've got all this great postural benefit too. I think the thing people underestimate when they train abs in general is they start to get into a lot of spinal flexion and they start
Right.
to get into hypertrophying and developing their abs, but they forget that if their posture isn't tight, if their back isn't big and wide and they can't hit this nice proposition, those abs don't show anyway.
Especially for a lot of the actors I work with on the big screen, they don't want to walk around with bad posture. So again, a movement like this, we're getting so much benefit to. We are getting that cardiovascular component. We are going to be fat burning. We are going to be working on tension techniques and developing those stronger looking abs. Our body's just going to be better off. I feel healthier. My clients feel healthier when we walk them through this exercise. Why don't you give us a demonstration? So right now, Eb's grabbing a pair of dumbbells. This can be done with kettlebells. This can be done with a trap bar if you really want to load heavy. But Eb's just going to basically walk. And what am I looking for right now as a coach? I don't want to even know he's holding dumbbells. I just want it to look like he's walking. So I don't want any leaning going on. And right now, his legs, his abs, his core, his shoulders, forearms, lats, everything is working right now. He's creating tension. And we're gonna show you a quick little variation. So let's put one down. So Eb's gonna start marching now. And it's that anti-flexion, anti-rotation, right? Anti-side flexion, anti-rotation is forcing him to have to really stabilize right now. And this becomes very difficult now. So he could do this marching or he can even do this walking. Start walking, yep. And whatever Eb's gonna do to one side, he's gonna do to the other side.
And I think the great thing, once we get into those single arm marches or single arm walks too, is just the idea of awareness, right? Because it gets really convenient for that weight to tip me down to the other side.
Right, it automatically wants to pull you down. So what do you have to do? Your intuition has got to be to pull yourself back up. But if I'm walking behind you and I'm looking at your shoulders, I don't want to see any imbalance in your shoulders.
It's real easy to overcompensate and come over more to this end.
Right.
So it's about finding that balance. And then you get this great abdominal awareness. You wind up getting all that stability of it. And again, I think the hallmark of all the ab exercises we had for everyone today is the idea that you can challenge yourself and load up. Because we did this with 40s, but you can pick up much, much heavier weights.
It's a very safe movement. Where I would be careful about is picking them up off the floor.
Yeah.
Because naturally, if you don't have that range of motion, you're gonna go into flexion. Potentially, something can happen when you're in flexion. We know that, but I'd recommend put your weights on a box, grab them off a dumbbell rack or a kettlebell rack, walk safely, and then put them back. And then in time, try to progressively get stronger and stronger at that. Watch what happens to your other lifts also.
Yeah.
Because your body's gonna be so much stronger as one unit. You're gonna be able to do all your big lifts, and I can almost guarantee you that you're gonna feel and look a lot stronger.
And that's the secret of aesthetic abs too, because we're training for aesthetics, but through these 5 exercises,
Right.
we wind up hitting all the functions of your abs. You wind up with spinal flexion, you learn to brace, you learn to anti-rotate, you learn to anti-extend, and you learn to do all of that with the heavy weight. So as you build those visually awesome abs, you're also gonna get super strong at all your exercises too. Try these exercises out, have fun with it, and you'll see your abs grow.